Now, a couple of other things that you need to understand. I need to learn how to use the tools well. This hammer right here, all of you know primarily what it's for. It's for hammering in nails or whatever. You can do a lot of harm to your hand if you don't know how to use this properly. And some of you may already have. I certainly have. I do not make a living doing this, and so my skills are not that great. But I have had to hammer things, and sometimes I wind up hitting my fingers, and it hurts. So here's the point that you need to understand. The tools that you use in life, learn how to use them well. Become a master. If I was a carpenter, you have to become a master with a hammer. You have to become a master builder with this thing, a leveler. You have to really know how to use this down not only to an inch, but a half an inch, to a quarter of an inch, to an eighth of an inch. Learn to use the tools and use it properly. You need to have the same attitude when it comes to math. Are you ever going to deal with finances in your life? Yes, you will. And so you need to learn. That's what you're doing in business math. That's what you're doing in economics, because you will be dealing with money the rest of your life. Learn to use the tools well. Will you ever have anything to do with government? You may never hold a public office, you may never run for office, but you need to know who to vote for. You need to know what the parties stand for. So become proficient when it comes to politics, when it comes to government. Are you ever going to have any relationships with anyone? Absolutely. So you need to become proficient with relationships. Your family, all of you have a family. You have to become proficient in that. And that comes from working on the tools that we call the mind. Now here's another point I want to make to you. You have to have your own tools. If you're going to become a master craftsman, you want your own hammer. You want your own leveler. You want your own tape measure. You can use somebody else's for a while, but if you are going to be a master craftsman, you need to have your own stuff and learn to use it as a master craftsman would. You see, you can't use mama's. You can't even use your daddy's. You can't use my knowledge. You can't use our knowledge of math to get you through life. You can't use our knowledge of politics, of economics, of government, of logical thinking, of analytical thinking. You cannot use somebody else's. You have to develop them yourself. And this is a time in your life that is set aside for developing the tools, whatever they may be, that you will use later in life. So use this time to become a master craftsman in politics, in government, in economics, in finance, in logic, and analytical thinking. And you can get every bit of that here. And because you can, you should. And because you should starting today. Put some time, energy, and effort to developing the tools that you will need to help you be successful for the rest of your life. And how do you do that? How do you become a master with a hammer? You practice. You practice and you practice. And you get a nail out and you drive that nail home. There will be times in your life you'll be needing to hammer things home. Learn to use a hammer. And I'm not necessarily talking about this. I'm talking about here. Be able to formulate an argument where you can drive it home and make your point and win the day mentally. There will be times when you will need to know if something is level or not. Does this theory make sense? Is socialism, does it really level out like it says it does? How about capitalism? How about communism? How about the Democratic idea, or the Republican idea? Which one levels out? Which one can you build your house on? Because that's the other thing. You need to know which ideas are solid, which philosophies are solid, which ideology is solid. And you cannot do that unless you become a master craftsman with the greatest tool of all, the tool that lies between your ears.